This is Skip with the WSGF, and I want to talk about the Ice Cube option for the Ergotech stands here in 2014. The Ice Cube was a block with a hole in the middle that you could place over the pole, either above the bar or between the bar and the base. It had two USB pass-throughs, and it had 4 power plugs that you could use as a surge protector, so you could plug your monitors in here at the stand rather than running 3 or 4 cables all the way down to your power strip. That, coupled with the short cable kit and the clip kit that we offer, made for a really nice, neat installation. Unfortunately, we've just found out, or recently found out, that Ergotech has discontinued the Ice Cube, and while they're working on a replacement, it won't be out for several months. I've looked at options to help fill that gap in those months, and I want to talk about those here and say what we're going to do in the store in the meantime. So the first option that I looked at was this surge protector by a company called Quirky. It's bendable. It's got space between each plug for a wall wart. It has 6 plugs on it so that you could do 4 or 5 monitors and still have room for USB chargers or something of that nature. The idea was that with the hole that's created here, you could put it over the pole, possibly after you set your monitors in place. But unfortunately, the pole is only about 1.5 inches in diameter, and the hole here on the Quirky is 3.5 inches. So it's not very stable. It kind of flops around. It really just wouldn't be that elegant of a solution. And it has a really high purchase price with at $30 on like Amazon, although the white one is available for a discount on ThinkGeek right now. I like the idea of having a full surge protector. 5 or 6 plugs that you can use to charge USB devices. I have a Corsair wireless headset, and when I'm not using it, I hang it on the end of the last arm outside the last monitor. Easy on, easy off. The charging port right here is just micro USB charging, and rather than run a cable all the way down to my PC, I use a little charging brick like this one here for the Amazon Kindle. So having the charging capabilities here would be a great benefit. Unfortunately, the Quirky option is just not something that I think will be the best solution, and it's not something I want to sell out of the store due to its price and due to its drawbacks. The next option that I looked at was this surge protector by Triplite. It's got 4 plugs plus 2 additional space for wall warts, and then it actually has 2 USB chargers, 5 volts, 2.1 amp max. So basically 2 1 amp chargers or 1 2 amp. Its trick is that it is made to clamp to a desk. You have a platform here and then thumb screws down here. Your desk would go in like this, and you can clamp it to the side and have easy access rather than getting on the floor. I thought this might clamp around the pole. You would get enough clearance to go around the clamp, but unfortunately the unit itself just isn't wide enough to go around the pole. It probably has about a 1-inch clearance. It won't fit over the bar sideways either, which would be pretty good. You could work it around your pivots, and obviously doing it on top is just going to get in the way of everything. So while this is potentially a good surge protector, it is kind of pricey as well, although there is a cheaper OEM version available for mono price. It's just not something that makes sense to sell out of the stand store here at the WSGF. So with those 2 options out of the way, and not really finding else much in the way of a unique solution, I decided to see what we could do for modding something. Our community is obviously well into mods and well versed in them. So what I did was I got an inexpensive power supply from Home Depot, I think it was, and I took 2 of the cable clips, these are for the pole, and just super glued them on here. I took the pole, I put the clips on, and then I applied the super glue and I zip tied it on so that it would all line up nice and straight and hold tight, let it set, and then I cut the cable ties and pulled it off. And it's worked well. I did find in some of my looking and playing that one of the clips popped off, which would worry me as a saleable product, that it might be something that if it doesn't hold or gets jostled in shipping that you would have to repair, and that obviously doesn't look good on me or the store in general. The solution itself works well. The clips give you plenty of spacing to get around. The clamp here on the bar, you have freedom to move it up and down. You can even take it off after everything's in place and adjust the bar. That was one of the few downsides of the Ice Cube, is that once it was in place, you had to take your bar off. If it was between here and here, you had to take the bar off to get the Ice Cube out. So I think this is a viable option, but I think it's one best left to you, the user, to mod on your own, because that way you can pick your own surge protector and then you can set it how you'd like. In that same vein, I took 2 of the bar clips for cables. You can see I've got those glued here, and there's even enough surface area to glue and leave room to run the cables still here down the track. You can get them in and out there. The clips are one directional, so the way they're set now, you'd have to put it, say here, and run your power cable back the other way, or more appropriately, put it on this arm and then run the cable towards the center. That drawback is another reason I wouldn't sell this out of the store like this, because I wouldn't know whether you would want yours configured left or right. Beyond glue, there are other options you could pursue, like sticky Velcro. You could even just use a wire tie to hold it on if you wanted. But to help facilitate this, rather than sell a power option right now out of the store, I'm going to combine the short cable kit, which has traditionally been 2 3-foot cables and 2 2-foot cables. If you need a 5th one for a 5x1, just let me know and we'll drop that in. Along with the clip kit, we're going to make it one option kit going forward. And I'm going to put in 2 extra of these bar clips so that you can choose your own surge protector, and then you can use whatever adhesion method you want to mount this here along the way. I do think it's a great solution. I think it's rather elegant, not as good as the Ice Cube itself. But in the end, it becomes cheaper for you because you can purchase your own surge protector at retail. Whereas if I purchased it at retail or wholesale, there would be a markup behind it. And it's less inventory that I have to stock. So again, going forward, until we have what's going to be new with the Ice Cube, or what's going to happen with the new Ice Cube, we're not going to have a power option at this point, and we're just going to sell the clips and the cables together, but give you a couple of extra clips so that you can do this mod on your own.